How you doing, Tan?
Hello, Stefan. It's late where you are.
Yeah, it's 10:15.
Yeah, you're knackered.
You're my eighth interview of the day, actually.
Get out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you are
Uh,
knackered, but I'll bring the energy back up. You're fine.
yes. I've saved the best till last, though. Um,
Charmer.
so I wanted to start by asking, because of having not kind of acted, kind of scripted acting before, how did this kind of opportunity first come about? Did they reach out to you on the kind of off chance, or did you hear
Yeah.
about the project and think, why not give this a go?
To be fair, no, I hadn't heard of the show because my world is so different from the scripted world, and so the team at Deli Boys had apparently a dream, like a wish list of who they would like to be guest stars on the show, and shockingly, I was one of them. But I don't think anyone expected me to say yes or to really commit to doing the job. But as soon as I got the offer, I was like, I want to give this as much attention as I possibly can. I was shooting at the same time a different show. And I was like, no, no, I really want to try my very best for this to make it clear I respect what this show's all about. Because they sent me an outline of the show, and I just thought, this is something I've never seen before. This is a version of South Asians I've never seen before. And I just felt so proud of what even before seeing it, I was so proud of what they'd achieved with the show in general that I wanted to be part of it. And so I worked really hard for it. And I did
Was
audition. So I just need you to know. So somebody asked me earlier, they're like, "Oh, so they just gave you the job?" I was like, "No, no, no. I was put through the ringer."
Because I was going to ask, I mean, like obviously, yeah, you said, they sort of approached you in this instance, but was there
Yeah.
always a little bubbling ambition of yours one day to move into kind of character acting of this nature, or was this show really, did it come as much of a surprise to you as that?
It came as a massive surprise. I will say though that I have been taking acting classes for around about 8 years. So I'm on a different show called Queer Eye. That was my first show in entertainment. And when I got that, that was my first show I'd ever auditioned for. I'd never thought I was going to be on television. And so my agent, when I signed, was like, take an acting class and that'll really make you feel more comfortable on set. And so I did. And I enjoyed it so much that I continued doing it. And I've taken an acting class once a week for around about 8 years now. So when it came to, I never thought I was going to act. I just thought this is helping me build my confidence on camera. And then this came about, and I thought, oh, I think I know how to do this because I've been training for so long. So it wasn't as jarring as one might think.
Because obviously you're no stranger to being in front of the cameras, but
Yeah.
how sort of difference was this experience? And despite kind of being behind a character, was it still weirdly more exposing in a way?
Well, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my adult life, no joke. I thought queer I was when I first got on camera, but I just had to be myself, and I'm loud anyway, so that was easy. When it came to this, it was first off the most enjoyable experience I've ever had as an adult in my career because it challenged me so much. Um, and it definitely didn't come easy. I think that just because you are an entertainer and scripted doesn't mean you can very easy transfer over to scripted. There was so much to consider. Every moment of every scene, I was thinking, wait, I'm not speaking like myself, am I naturally? I'm not, my voice is quite high. I've got a campy voice. Whereas with this show, I had to remind myself, no, I'm playing a straight person. I move differently. And so at every turn, I was reminded of the fact that I am playing a part. This is not me. So it wasn't as easy as we already do this. This should come relatively naturally. The only thing that was natural was that I was surrounded by a crew. That doesn't scare me anymore, which I think is not the case for many.
And you mentioned obviously kind of the kind of representation of kind of South
Yeah,
Asian kind of, especially in the kind of comedy genre. I mean, we
yeah,
often do see kind of South Asian characters in kind of comedy, but
yeah,
they're usually part of a story. But in this, they are the story. How
yeah,
you mentioned obviously one just having to kind of not be convinced to take this on, but it came
yeah,
as a bit of a surprise. But was that added element of being in something that you felt was a really positive portrayal and had that unique element to it and showed
yeah,
South Asians kind of in such a kind of a wonderful environment like this? Was that a really
yeah.
big mitigating factor for you?
It was a massive factor in my decision to take on this job. I get offered, this is going to sound really arrogant, but it's just true. I get offered a lot of work, but a lot of the work that I get is a cameo as Tan France on a show. And typically I say no, but as soon as I read the outline of the show, I just thought, gosh, they're doing something that I've never seen done before. In your part of the world or my part of the world. And so I really wanted to take it on because I have a feeling this is going to have such a massive impact, not only on the South Asian community, but also the non-South Asian community globally, because it gives a window into a world that feels the most authentic. We're not just the doctors, lawyers. We're not just engineers. We're not just taxi cab drivers. We're not just office owners. Like we are 360 people, fully formed people. And that's what Abdullah has created here, the creator of the show, Abdullah Said. He created fully formed characters. And if you take away the fact that they're South Asian, their characters still work. And I think that's a beauty of this show.
Yeah, now you're mob bosses, which is
Yeah,
great.
that's right. And I kind of love that they leaned into that. Like a lot of people would say, no, we don't want to show that version like we're always depicted in a negative way. But why wouldn't we be mob bosses also? I think it's incredible what they've done with this.
And you mentioned Queer. I can't not ask you a question about it because it's such a wonderful show. I mean, it's
Thank you.
going to air its, I think, sort of 10th. It's into its sort of 10th season will be the kind of next one, which is incredible. When you first started out on that show, did you ever envisage having the life that it's gone on to have?
No, I thought we'd do one season, the gays and a few girls would watch, and then I'd never work in television again. I thought that we'd do one season, and to know that we're the longest running show in Netflix history is insane.
And
Insane.
in regards to acting, do you hope to make, could this open, did you get a bit of a taste for it? Could you see yourself doing a bit more in the future, perhaps?
100%. I would absolutely love to do more. I can't tell you just how much I loved this show and making this episode. And so that really wet my whistle. I can't wait to take on more.
And just very quickly before I do go, because this is obviously set in a kind of Delhi, and as a sort of a Brit who sort of lives in America, what do you prefer, English snacks or American snacks?
You are out of your mind for even asking that question. American, as look, I am such a proud American at this point, but their snacks suck compared to the Brits. The British snacks are incredible. Like, oh God, I miss so much. Our chocolate is heavenly, and I miss it so much. Our crisps are the best crisps in the world. Like, yeah, I love English snacks.
Yeah. Do you have anyone back home that's able to send some over to you and kind of
Do you know
express
what?
the
I
love?
fly home every 3 months. I fly with 2 empty suitcases, and I bring back 2 full suitcases every time, without a doubt, full of snacks. And my sister thinks that I'm insane, but I don't care. I just got back about 2 weeks ago, and one suitcase was completely full of, those ridges, McCoy's ridges. They're
Yeah.
called they're the flame grilled steak flavor, and then my Walker's cheese and onion and prawn cocktail. Dream,
Oh,
dream, and then hobnobs, obviously.
of course, that goes without saying. Well, that's
Yeah, yeah.
warmed my heart. Thank you so much, Tan. It's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Best of
It's
luck with
lovely
it.
speaking to you. Also, lovely kitchen colour.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.